Ever since video games were a new form of entertainment, there have been sports games. Just look at one of our first video games, Pong. It's based off of tennis. So when the NES was released, we got a bunch of sports-themed games. Skate or Die is one of them. So first of all, what's up with the title? Is somebody gonna die if you don't skate? I don't know. The player controls some kid on a skateboard, and you start out at this juvenile delinquent skate shop. There, you'll be able to sign up to compete and scroll over different objects to annoy the shopkeeper. Once you leave, you're presented with a sort of main menu, where you can choose from a total of 5 events to compete in. They include Joust, Race, Jam, Freestyle, and High Jump. In Jam, you're given a top-down view, and your main objective is to reach the driveway before your opponent while avoiding obstacles and getting knocked off your board. Out of all of them, this is my favorite event because it's the only one where the controls are actually responsive and you feel confident in what you're doing. The race event is very similar to Jam, and it's another top-down view where your objective is to reach the bottom, except here you're racing against a clock. The controls in this event are just bad. To turn, you use the D-pad, but there's literally about a second or two of delay between the time I press the button and the time my skater actually moves. In a jump, you press the A button, but that just plain doesn't work most of the time. So nothing in race mode really works as it should, but still, it's not my least favorite event. Next you have the Pool Joust. Yeah, it's weird how you can have a joust in an 80s skating game. Anyway, in this event, your objective is to knock over your opponent with a giant Q-tip. If you fail to do so in a set amount of time, the Q-tip gets turned over to your opponent, and you must avoid him, and it just keeps going back and forth until someone scored 3 hits. The game attempts a sort of 3D viewpoint in this event, but it doesn't really work because you can never tell whether or not the guy's gonna hit you or if you're behind or in front of him. The controls in the joust work pretty well, but it just isn't fun because of the difficult viewpoints. Last and definitely least, we have the freestyle and high jumps. Both have unresponsive controls and both are the same event, except in one your jump height is measured. So you're basically on a half pipe, and to speed up you have to press the B button quickly. In freestyle it works okay, but I've only managed to land one trick, and just by dumb luck. You have to have your board at exactly the right angle to land a jump trick. It sucks, but not as badly as a high jump. In this event, I've never actually been able to jump, because if you don't start mashing the B button right when it starts, you're better off resetting the NES, or better yet, turning it off completely, because you literally have to be mashing the button for at least 5 minutes before you get anywhere. I know, isn't that fun, just sitting in your room getting your thumb sore? And by then, you're probably wondering, well, can't I just quit and go back to the menu? Well, that would be a great feature, but unfortunately, all you can do is pause the game. So overall, none of the events are outstanding, some are just terrible, and the controls overall aren't very good either. The graphics here aren't anything special. I can see some attention to detail in some areas, but it's not enough. The same goes for the forgettable music, which thankfully isn't looped too often. The only reason I could see someone paying more than $2 for this game would be if that person is a hardcore collector. And if you don't fall under that category, you can probably download a version on your computer. That should be enough to satisfy your curiosity. I'm going to give this game 4 out of 10. It's just not good.